And are we recording? Does it show me?
Yes.
Okay. All right.
It says
Awesome. Okay.
recording.
Welcome, everybody, to the Superstar Call. I'm Lindsay O'Brien. And welcome if you're listening live or you are going to listen back to the recording. I know it takes time to get on these calls, and it's not always convenient, but we appreciate you getting on. So this call is basically going to be about fighting for the rest of the year, fighting for what you want. I've kind of been in a slump the past couple months, and so when I decided on the call topic, I was really trying to figure out what I'm struggling with lately, and just kind of doing some soul searching, I guess you could say. So that is kind of what this call is about. My first question to you is, who are you? Who are you? What do you like? What do you want to become? What interests do you have? What do you love? And where do you want to be individually and as a team in this business? We all signed up for a purpose, right? Whether it's to better your life for your family, maybe it's to create that extra side income for those kids' activities, or just to put gas in your car like it was for me when I joined. Maybe it's to just help other people and to continue to help yourself. But we all started for a purpose, and there's so many times throughout this business that your purpose and your why gets lost. And it's so important for you to keep that up front and to always remember why you're doing this, because that's going to fuel your fire. And I lost my why. I lost my drive, and the past 2 months have been hard. And in this business and just in life in general, there's going to be curveballs thrown at you, and that doesn't give you a reason to stop. In fact, that should give you a reason to continue to propel forward. And it didn't for me the past 2 months. And it's the first time that it's happened for me since I've been a coach. And I have not been a coach. I mean, I've been a coach for a while. So anyways, that's what this business is, or that's what this call is about, is just fighting for the rest of the year and finding out who you really are. So before we get into that, we're going to talk about the book of the month. So just a couple of announcements at first here. The book of the month is going to be The 12-Week Year by Brian Moran. And I have not read that yet, but it was actually on my to-do list for this week to go get. So I'm excited for that. I did only see one rank advancement, and that was Brittany, is it McCorkle? So it shows that she is diamond, which is awesome, awesome. I think she's a coach under Courtney. Is that correct, Courtney? Okay, awesome. So what that means is when you're a diamond, you are a leader. You are growing your business. You have coaches underneath of you. You are trying to juggle your own personal business, but yet trying to work with those coaches underneath of you that also want to grow. So you're creating an income. You're getting some cycle bonuses, maybe some free customers. So that's awesome. That means she's really working her tail off to make this work. And I do notice that she works a full-time job. So she's sacrificing. She's probably not getting a lot of sleep, sending those invites out, getting some no's. But she is a mom to 3 little ones, a wife, and she's making it happen. So congratulations to her. The Court of Force is out. We're all excited for that, right? I just ordered mine today, so I'm hoping it's going to get here in time for Monday when my challenge group starts. There is 3 ways that you can order or get that in a challenge pack. It is for $140. You can get it with the Shaco, the Performance line, or the digital. So there's 3 different options there. Make sure you're really, really pushing those challenge packs. That is how people are going to succeed when they have the entire package. You'd never want to, I always say, half-ass anything. So when you jump into a program, tell them to get it all, because that's how they're going to succeed. And then the last thing is boot camp. I believe the boot camp started today. And if it's still the same as in the past, you're still able to add some coaches in it up until Wednesday. Is that correct, Kristen? Okay, so up until Wednesday, you can still add your coaches into that boot camp. It's something you want your coaches to do. It's great information. It's only 14 days. It doesn't take a lot of time, so definitely get your coaches plugged into the system. Okay, that's all the announcements I have. So really, I want you to ask yourself, who are you? What do you love? What interests do you have? Where do you want to be in this business as an individual and as a team? Looking at my own business, kind of a full disclosure here, I am not where I want to be, but I deserve to be exactly where I'm at. I deserve what happened the last month or two of not getting Success Club, losing rank, because I haven't been putting in the work. So we need to take ownership of where we're at. You are in this business right now exactly where you're supposed to be. And acknowledge where you're at and take responsibility for where you're at in this business. Celebrate where you're at. That's one of the things I've always heard throughout this business, is that we don't celebrate enough. There's always, you know, things to celebrate, whether you are a brand new coach, emerald, diamond, wherever you're at, there's reasons to be celebrating. It's not how many times that you get knocked down, but it's how many times you get back up. I've been in this business a while, and there's been lots of no's and lots of setbacks and lots of people quitting, and those are all knockdowns, but I don't let it define me. I don't quit over it. I may have taken little breaks, but I will always be posting. I will always be keeping communication with my downline. If you're a part of my team, you know if I'm struggling, what I'm doing. I always try to keep in communication that way. If you're not where you want to be, ask yourself these 6 questions. Why? Why are you where you're at? Are you not making your goals a priority? Are you not giving the time you need to do every single day to grow your business? Are your goals measurable, and do you have a deadline? There's so many times where we set goals, but we don't break them down. You know, creating goals is great, but if you don't break them down to the point where you know that you can attain those, or, well, I'll get to that part later, the breaking down. Let's see. You should see my notes here, they're a mess. Oh, is your vision clear enough? Do you have a vision? Do you know what it's going to feel like when you get there? Like, I can see it. I can visualize my life when I am completely out of debt, when I have this huge team and I am planning retreats. Like, I am excited for that. I can visualize that, and I want to do that. Those are the things that excite me. When you achieve your goal, what is that going to mean to you? Is that going to mean that, you know, you've overcame? Is it going to, you know, maybe you have a lot of naysayers in your family that don't think you can do it. Is it going to prove them wrong? Is it going to make you a super mom? You know, how are you going to feel when you achieve those goals? Are they intentional on where you're going? Are your goals intentional? If not, you'll go wherever life takes you. So you have to make sure that your goals are intentional. And what will you do when you achieve those goals? Things won't get better unless you make them better. And that goes in every area of our life, whether it's businesses, in our business, finances, our marriage, relationships, and our weight loss. So unless you make the change, nothing will get better. All right, so I've been looking at a lot of YouTube videos on top coaches I like to follow, and just other mentors like Eric Worre and Brian Tracy and Joshua Coates. And there's a 7-step system to achieve your goals. So I'm going to kind of outline those 7 steps. If you're struggling and you're not where you want to be, maybe your goals aren't big enough. Maybe you haven't outlined them and broke them down so you can't attain them. So the first step is what you want. You need to know what you want, and you need to be specific. So many times you will ask your coaches, like, well, you know, what do you want to achieve? What do you want out of this business? And they'll say, I just want to be a good mom, or I want to inspire others. I want to be a good wife. And really, those aren't, like, you can't measure those goals, right? You have to have deeper goals than that. We all want to be good moms and good wives, and those are great goals. But in this business, they have to be deeper. It has to, like, burn in your belly, and it has to be more concrete goals. Like, I want to be elite. I want to sponsor 4 coaches a month. You know, there's how many days left till the end of the year? 50 some days. You know, where do you want to be by the end of the year? Do you want to be diamond? If so, then you want to be diamond in 50 days. How are you going to do that? Then that's how you're going to break it down within the 50 days of how you're going to be diamond. Whether that's sponsoring 4 or 5 coaches, you know, this month, and, you know, you can work with your upline on that. But you need to have concrete goals. And Brian Tracy said it really good. If somebody came up to you and said, well, what is your main purpose and goal with this business? If you can't spout it off your tongue right away, then you really don't know what your goal is. Or if you can't say it to your 6-year-old what your goals are right away, then you know, it's not deep enough. 3% have goals, others dream and wish. Are you the 3%, or are you the dreamer and the wisher? Okay, step 2, make sure you write them down. The first thing Brian Tracy said is in the morning, he writes down all of his goals and he reads over them 3 different times. And he sets intentions for his day on how he's going to achieve those goals. And then he writes them again down in the PM, and he recites them 3 times before he goes to bed, because your brain is working while you're sleeping. And, that's why they recommend you reading personal development books before bed, or, looking at a YouTube training, or if you watch a scary movie before bed, I have nightmares. So what you do before bed matters. And that is one of his goals or one of his recommendations is for you to write them down in the morning and write them down at night. The third is to have a deadline. If you don't have a deadline, then you will never reach your goal. For example, if you're going to get on an 8 a.m. flight at the airport, you are going to do everything in your power to get there, right? Well, because you have a deadline. That plane's going to leave with or without you. Same thing in this business. If you don't have a deadline and concrete goals and break them down into smaller steps so you can reach them, then you'll never reach your goals. It's kind of like the law of attraction. If you focus on a deadline, then the goal dates give you a hustle. And that is what you need. Begin to attract those things into your life to make it happen by speaking them and speaking it out loud before you even have it, before it's even fruitioned into your life. Surrounding yourself with positive people, that personal development, the books, the YouTube videos. Have you ever heard of the slug bug game? So it's like if you're not looking, when you play the slug bug game with your kids, if you're not looking for the bugs, then you don't see them, right? So you have to set your intentions and know what you're looking for, know what you want to go after it. Or like, I got a Camry, a black Camry, and there's a bazillion of those now. My stepson got a Jeep. I never noticed how many Jeeps there were on the road until he got a Jeep, because a Jeep goes by, oh, is that Tristan? You're looking for it. You're setting your intentions. You're more in tune for what you want. The 4th step is to make a list, to write down what you can do to achieve them and to prioritize them. So ask yourself, what can you do better to build your business, to get to diamond or get to where you want to be? Maybe it is to post more. Maybe it's just to start posting. Maybe that's one of the things you're not doing is sharing. Maybe it's to put your Shakeology on Home Direct. Maybe you've just never had that on Home Direct. Maybe it's just to start working out, so what can you do to make yourself one step closer to your goal? A good homework assignment would be to list 3 things that you're going to do before the end of the year. Set 3 goals before January and be specific and share those goals publicly and with your upline to keep you accountable. The 5th thing is to organize your list. So when you create that list, you want to put them in order. Put them in order for the daily actions to get you to your goal, which would be the vitals. Carl set this business up, so all you have to do is those vital behaviors to grow your business. And so many of us do, there's 4 vitals now. There used to be 3, but so many people used to, do 2 behaviors, and they're not doing the last 2. And the most important vital is inviting, and that is what most people do not do because they're scared. They're scared to hear that no, or what will people think? So don't skip that most important one that's going to grow your business. And the 6th one is to take action. The most important step is where people will fail. Just like that invite. You may be a rock star at doing all the, being product of the product and personal development, but you are slacking big time on those invites. And we all know who we are, right? So the most important steps is where people fail. Plans can be amazing, but if there's no action behind them, nothing happens. So make sure you are putting action behind that. It's kind of like somebody that's going to build a house. You may have blueprints all set and ready to go, but if you don't dig that hole, those blueprints are for nothing. So you have to take action. And that most people stop before they start. That is one of the saddest things I see, is I've had so many coaches that just never began. And they'll quit because they say it's not for them, or it doesn't work, or I wasn't receiving free customers, and it's like they haven't even started. They have not even started. And so don't be one of them, don't be one of those people that quit before you've even started. The 7th step is your daily to-do by moving forward and just, do something every single day to propel your business forward, to propel yourself as a person forward. Do those vitals. It's not much. Set a routine. You know, if you are a morning person and you work out in the morning, do it every single day. Create a habit. Drink that Shakeology every single day. Send those invites out every single day. This business, let's see, you know, inviting people to the coach opportunity and following up, the fortunes and the follow-up. That is so true. And let's see. So yeah, so basically life happens, right? Life happens, and we get thrown all kinds of curveballs throughout life, but that doesn't mean that we should stop doing. You know, we don't, anytime things happen in our life, it seems like a lot of people want to put this business on the back burner when really that is what should propel us to keep building this business. Brian Tracy also said that so many people work harder for their jobs or their bosses than they do themselves and their dreams. And that is, if you think about that, that is a truth bomb right there. So when life throws us curveballs, we don't call in sick from our jobs, right? So you got to continue to build this business even though life throws us things our way. So your homework is just to keep believing even when you don't believe. That's hard sometimes. Just keep believing. Your voice, there's two voices, the voice in your head and the voice in your heart. The voice in your head is always telling you to stop, and you're making excuses, and your head just wants to explode with doubt. But under that doubt, you know there's hope, you know there's a willingness to keep fighting, and your heart is going to tell you to keep going. So what voice are you going to choose to listen to every single day? Happiness is the progressive movement toward a goal that is important. And Josh Coates says, find your mess before your success. We're all going to have a mess. We all are going through a mess. And that is just part of it. So every day you move forward your goal, you are creating more happiness. And it doesn't get easier, you just get better. And that's a big one. So this business doesn't get easier, it's just you become a better coach, a better leader, and just keep working on yourself. I was thinking back to when I grew the most and when I was the most happy in this business, and it's honestly when I was working on it every single day, when I was helping people, when I was recruiting like a boss, when I was inviting like crazy, and when my phone would go off all the time, and I couldn't wait to see who it was, and I wanted to answer right away, and I was getting comments from my family that I'm obsessed with my phone, and all you do is this business, and all you do is work, but I loved it. I loved it, and I was the happiest then. I just had to find a balance. So think back when you grew this business and when you were the biggest in this business, and do that again. Sometimes it's just going back to the basics and have fun with it. And it was fun and it was exciting, and it sucks when it's slow. It sucks when you feel like you've fallen off the grid and you don't know how to get back going again. And all I can do is tell you to get into personal development and go back to what worked when you were growing big. So I guess to end it, it's, you know, a lot of people say, well, what if it doesn't work? But what if it does work? What if it does work? You know, and it does work. There's a lot of coaches out there growing, and you may not be the fastest growing coach, but it's okay. Just keep plugging away and keep believing, even when that doubt is so big. Take action now, or you will lose all enthusiasm. And that's true. You know, the more you do, the better you are, and the less fear you have. And you just have to do. That's it. Any questions? No? Okay. Everyone have a good night. I'll post the recording. Thank you. Oh yes, Miracle Morning. Yeah, join the Miracle Morning. Dana's reading the Miracle Morning and she loves it. She says it's changed everything about her business, her life, everything. So if you haven't read that, definitely do. Okay, everybody have a good night.